I'd say upsets, especially given the way our predictions have gone. Only one French hope left alive in Sagas, sitting in waiting for his opponent in Grand Finals, but they are off and on their way, or at least Bamboo is until the streams catch up. So 100% tournament, we gotta get 100% of the heart pieces, 100% of the collectible inventory permanents, and 100% of the upgrades, capacity and level-wise. And we also have to go get all the pictures from the picture guy. And... oh god, what else? There's something else I'm definitely missing. A nice colored tunic. Which we will see if they go for trying to save an eighth of a second. Or not an eighth, sorry. 0.8 seconds. That's the wrong word. Or if they pick blue tunic and just be fast. So the first thing they're gonna do is go get the Sword of the Beach. Taking different strategies. Bamboo's is faster if and only if that urchin doesn't drop a rupee. But Spiraster missing early sword. But now we have RNG being a major factor. And they gotta get 10 rupees, and if they can land on their... if they get the rupee to land on their sprite and the shield at the same time, they'll collect double, so... Bamboo resetting actually really fast, but had 8, so... definitely happy about that, and Spiraster's gonna reset with 9. Then they just gotta hope for Grass RNG to get their 10th. They really need that so they can go play Trendy Game to get the Magic Powder. Both getting 10 pretty quickly. Those were really good times. Bamboo getting trolled a little bit by the shopkeeper, who we are not going to pay, really, ever. And as you know, the price for thievery is death. It's basically an eye for an eye. You rob the only shopkeeper and economy on the island, so they murder you for ruining the economy. That makes sense. Buying the bombs, saving and quitting, preventing your rupees from decrementing, so they can keep that 10 rupee. And ooh, Spiraster. Oh, the shopkeeper does not want to let Spiraster leave. Oh no, oh no, this is bad. Oh boy, Spiraster's had some luck. Had some luck these past couple days. Bamboo going for the fastest possible powder. I'm pretty sure that's the absolute earliest that you can get it with where he lined it up. There is a visual cue where you can line the shadow up with the corner, and that's what Spiraster's doing, but Bamboo just went, if you kind of just go all out as fast as you can, it's pretty consistent, but if you mess it up, it's going to waste a lot of time, so it only saves maybe, probably doesn't even save a second. And so, going into the doghouse is Bamboo to gather a secret seashell. We're going to need 20 of those over the run. And they're scattered all over the place, and we route those in to, because we need the level 2 sword, and oof, Bamboo going to try to skip the owl there. That would have saved, I think, 2 seconds if he got it. Needed that menu anyway, because we'll be skipping a cutscene by using a bomb trigger in a minute. Bomb triggers are, of course. Bomb blows up the end. Spiraster gets that! So, owl doesn't show up when you get the bomb trigger. Just doesn't flap onto the screen, it's just sitting in the top right, top left-hand corner. And Bamboo getting first try. Bomb trigger on Terran. You put down 2 bombs in the same frame, the game doesn't really know what to do and just loads the next animation, I'm pretty sure. It just like play animation number 1 and then play animation number 2 because there's another bomb. Spiraster, oh, missing. That's gonna hurt his bomb count a little bit. I think he'll have to do, unfortunately, an alternate strat in D2 maybe to save that bomb. I don't quite remember how tight those are at this point. But I do know they're very low at the end of D2. As 416 enter for Bamboo. Pretty good entrance into D1. D1 is a pretty simple dungeon, although some new changes in routing with arrows have come out in the past, what was it, week? From the person that they will be oh so lucky to play against in the should they choose to win. Black SR, who is very, very good runner. He's come out with some slight arrow optimizations. That save not a lot of time, but they're pretty cool. Doesn't look like Bamboo's going for it, since it involves bonking one of the spinies into a hole and shooting the other one with an arrow. That's Bamboo taking a damage boost and getting Rock's Feather. It's definitely our best item in the game. It's gonna let us do all sorts of tricks. That jump that he just did to get that to get on that switch before that beetle, the hard hat beetle got to him. That's really hard. It's really, really tight. It doesn't look like it, but it sucks. And super jumps. Jump while clipped into a wall and use the sword, the fire rod, arrows, and flip away. And it's like you're jumping with the Rock's Feather, but also you're jumping off a cliff, so you ignore collision. And that lets us go fast. And first mini boss of the game, Rolling Bones. The bow and arrow is really good. They expected you to buy it, or at least not figure out that you can steal things until much later, and probably not to have the shovel at this point either. But yeah, that's the first dungeon done. Bamboo picks the full moon cello, and Spiraster not far behind. I think he's actually made up a little bit of time, given the issues. Definitely he's made up time with the one bomb trigger, but then lost time on the other. But the shenanigans from the shopkeeper at the start were really harsh. Okay, Saga's saying he has exactly the... Yeah, that was a pretty nice Moldorm. Moldorm can decide that everything is horrible. Knock people off. That fight is probably one of the hardest boss fights in the game. Mostly because the rest of the boss fights are kind of not really fights so much as we just kill them. Moldorm is probably the hardest optimal boss fight other than Hothead, but that's random so it doesn't count. So Bamboo is on his way to rescue Bow Wow because he was told by those kids that he just ignored that... Oh. And Bamboo doing this cave the way I do it, which is... This looks like every single one of my practices in that room. That's really unfortunate. Let's see if Spiraster can get that. That'll make up some time. You can get both of those in a jump, spin, slash, but the positioning is really tight. And then you want to super jump over here to get this piece of heart, skipping having to come back for it later with the bracelet. And let's see Spiraster go for it. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's gonna make up some time. As he's going to be dodging the heart piece of shame. It is technically slower to get it on the way there, because if you go down, you can save a frame, due to a trick that's coming up that lets you kind of move during text boxes, called the flock clip. There will be the first flock clip in a minute. We gotta get our picture taken though. Gotta get a picture of ourselves to, nail up on like the outside of the Moblin Caves hut, so they know not to go steal Bow Wow or you'll be back. That's the entire point of that picture. And we get it now because if you have Bow Wow, Mouse doesn't exactly like want to be near a smelly dog, so doesn't want to take your picture. And here's the Moblin King. Definitely the longest mini boss that we fight in the game. And Bamboo getting a perfect fight there. And here's Bow Wow. It's a dog, I promise. Spiraster getting 3 hits in the first phase, so should get the spin in 1. And Flock Clip. Clip into a wall, go up into a corner. And the text box will let you just push it right through, and now let's see when Bow Wow decides to let Bamboo in. Pretty early. Oh, almost got a second instant eat. Pausing to buffer out powder. And skip the text entering the dungeon. Saves a little bit of time to do it then. And oof, Spiraster getting very good at eat. So we just have a bunch of platforming. And Feather and Sword for one, Feather and Arrow for the other. Arrow routing is pretty tight. At the end of when they get the arrow capacity upgrade, which capacity upgrades refill all your arrows, they should have 0. So it's pretty tight up until that point, and then you can just kind of do whatever you want because it doesn't matter anymore. So there's Hinox. That's the 3rd mini boss we fought so far. As you can see, they tend to die in 2 arrows. And here's another thing that dies in, well, hopefully 1 arrow. As... oh, it looks like Bamboo is doing the old strat. Save his arrows. That does give him a little bit more leeway. Which I think is nice, but there's a new strat came out, or well, that we started doing at least, somewhat recently. Looks like Spiraster's gonna go for it. And yeah, you just shove the ghost off the screen with the arrow. And boss key room. You have to kill Pole's Voice, Keese, and Stalfos in that order. Sometimes the Stalfos does not want to cooperate with you ever, and will just prevent you from ever killing the Pole's Voice. As you can see, Spiraster is getting... he's had such good RNG this entire run. Oh, Bamboo not doing the swag strats, but fortunately Spiraster can't afford to do the swag strats there. So the game doesn't check to see whether or not you're holding a pot, it just checks to see if something is over your head, and oh no, Spiraster dies to the Pole's Voice. Oh boy. That's gonna hurt a little bit. So, the genie in the bottle. Have some more time to talk about that. So, normally you just throw it against the wall, but if you throw it into a corner, it just breaks immediately. And yeah, 2 bomb arrow, well, 2 bombs really kill the genie instantly, so bomb into a bomb arrow. Bomb arrows are intended for whatever reason. And oh man, Spiraster is just getting... maybe this is the plan, that he just doesn't want to fight against black. I'm surprised he didn't take the 2D section over. I think it would have been maybe a little bit faster. Oh boy, there is a fairy in this room. On the bottom half, right under that pot that Spiraster just picked up. Oh boy. And Spiraster, I'm pretty sure does not... pretty sure he's gonna need bombs somewhere. Oh no, wait, no, he's fine. What am I thinking? He's got just the right amount. Okay, so what Bamboo is doing right now. So he went over to activate the warp that's right next to D4. That'll save a whole bunch of time in backtracking later. And so as long as Spiraster doesn't miss, doesn't look like he did, he should be fine. And so we have the Mad Batter. He likes to give you curses of carrying around, the ability to carry around more stuff. He'll always offer you powder first, but we never want that. And the second option is bombs, which we do need right now. So, gonna take the bombs. And we'll be seeing him 3 times to get arrows and powder. Pretty important. And then right now, I'm liking Bamboo's use of powder there. Gives powder a little bit more usage throughout the run. Since we really just need it to complete the game. You only need it to beat D2, and then you can just technically you can beat the final boss of the game without even Mushroom. And ooh, I like that that menu buffer from Bamboo right there. That was really slick. How he slashed the thing, dug it up, and then menued to Bracelet and Feather. It was really clean. So Bamboo is building a lead, somewhat on his own merits, but also Spiraster having some problems. So now you can see Bamboo's got 60 bombs. We don't really have to worry about bombs, unless something happens during a bomb trigger and you lose about 30 of them. Unfortunately, it's happened to a couple people during this tournament. But Bamboo's gonna enter this telephone booth, and it's gonna go first grab our Richard picture. Our big old buddy Richard wants to show us his big fancy castle, and that he was kicked out of because he's not a very nice person. Kind of a meanie. And just gotta get this picture to massage his ego. But the next thing that Bamboo is gonna do is he's gonna go to the Secret Seashell Mansion. He has 5 seashells right now, and with this, he's gonna get an extra one as a gift. For whatever reason, it takes 10 to get to the second light, but it takes an extra 10 to get to the third light, so whoever built that is not very good at scaling things. But, interesting fact about 2D sections, if you save and quit in them, it doesn't change your save and quit point, probably due to... Oh, and that's a second try from Bamboo. Spiraster having a video earlier of him getting 17 for Villa Skip. I mean, it doesn't change your save and quit point in a 2D section. And that leaf is actually a key. After you leave that screen, it'll turn into a key. But Villa Skip, if you start buffer, it advances the game 1 frame every time. And if something tries to move Link, it'll push him down. But he won't fall into the hole because it takes more time than that, so... He can be standing on the menu, and there's our good old buddy Richard, living with a bunch of frogs. But yeah, it advances, and you get onto the menu, and then you can walk down. And that's not out of bounds, or well, I guess you're technically just beyond the pit. But now Jesus jumps. If you start buffer, which I believe is required for this trick, Task can't even do it without pausing, I'm pretty sure. Someone told me that. Someone told me that, so that's what we're sticking with. When you get that little splash animation, you can jump out of it, and if you're kind of falling in the water repeatedly, you can save and quit. See, let's count for Spiraster. There he's at 3. Save and quit to jump again. Okay, he got 4. It's not bad. So Dungeon 3. This is probably my favorite dungeon to do, in 100% at least. It's the only one where we don't save and quit during... Or, I guess that's not true. It's the only one that we pretty much do as intended. Outside of one thing. But it's the most straightforward, we kill the most enemies in it. And that's all to get. This item that should be coming up here, yes, Pizza Power. From the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It makes you run faster and be a ninja. So you can super jump off of this wall, clank on the Dodongo, and get over. You don't need Pizza Power to actually do that trick, but it's cooler when you are a ninja. But that'll skip having to fight the Dodongos, needing to get one more key. It doesn't take that much time to go get that extra key, because we'll just be flock clipping past the last one, but we don't want to lose our, we'd have to save and quit to make that fast, and losing losing piece of power is really slow. Because you just gain a ton of speed, bunch of knockback, and it makes this boss fight really fun. It is pretty much textbook, you can just do the same thing every time, but it's really fun to do. And they intend for you to run into that angry face up there, make him all sad, but we can just jump across. It doesn't actually save that much time, but it does save time, and it's not hard to do. And so here we have Slime Eye as the theme for when they couldn't figure out what to name bosses in this game. They just put slime in front of it. And perfect fight from Bamboo. Spiraster getting his pizza power, exact same place. And that's our third instrument down already. We're only 20 minutes in. Bamboo having a pretty good run. And don't know if RNG is going to be able to slow him down, given Bamboo's history with RNG in this game. Spiraster just running right into a pit. But now we have the longest cleanup section of the game. It's like 15 minutes long. It's not short. As we're just going to be going and grabbing songs, pineapples, honeycombs, pieces of heart, women, all of the things you normally grab on a day-to-day basis. And so here's Terran, and let's see if Bamboo can get this cutscene skip, or just decides to let... No. Yeah, no. Yeah, so if you save and quit, you can just buffer the save and quit menu out of there, and once you get that item confirm sound, you can just save and quit and skip that entire cutscene, saving a bunch of time. You can technically not buffer it, and it's frame perfect, but, and save the 2 seconds, but it's not so good. If you miss it, then. To the point where one of our other cutscenes skips, if you miss it, it's a ton of time lost, but it doesn't actually save, like, any time if you end up buffering, I think, the maximum number. And oh no! So actually, in Spiraster got how you're supposed to know that seashell is there. If you're running around with Bow Wow, Bow Wow will say, rough dig here. And so Spiraster got that text. Oh boy. And so Bamboo has got 12 seashells. A very good number of seashells. As he makes his way over to the communist commune that is Animal Village. As I've been informed, that's how it's run. It's the only explanation for a bunny being the leader. As we need to go talk to this bear, who's the chef, and I guess only eats honeycomb or bees, or is like stewing his friends in the honey. Maybe he's a mass murderer, I don't know. Bamboo not even gonna bother saving and quitting. If you don't get it frame perfect, it saves 11 frames, so I guess you can just go for it every time, and it's worth it. So, because it's not a real amount of time you'd be saving. Slightly over a sixth of a second, and that's in the grand scheme of things. This category isn't. It has plenty of time save everywhere else for everyone. So now we have the Dream Shrine. We have great music, and we're gonna skip the entire long, annoying portion of running around and fighting these guys. Do a lot of damage. Just grab the ocarina, which we are terrible at playing, but we need it so we can play songs. But now is the most important part of the run. part where we fish the pond. And it's really important for a lot of reasons. One, it's a fun minigame. We get to fish, and everyone loves fishing. And number two, we can go get this big fish, and inside this big fish, it ate a piece of heart. And because we got it here, it just gives us the heart container and skips the text and the animation of Link getting a completed heart container. So having that as one of the 3 final heart pieces of a heart container, I guess the right way to say that is the 4th, as a 4th piece, pretty important. So we're done with Bow Wow now. We're returning them, and it's time for cutscene RNG. Bow Wow needs to clank against your sword 3 times. This is random. I'm gonna say that was good RNG. Probably is. It's not gonna waste or save you any amount of real time, similar to skipping the bear cutscene. However, it is something to talk about. Spiraster, I think, he's made up a little bit of time just with overworld pathing, but it's still quite a ways behind. So they expected you to find that seashell, which is fine. There are 26 in the game, 2 of which are unobtainable forever, which are the ones in the mansion, because if you have beyond 5 and 10, you can't get those. And there are only a couple that are really horribly hidden, and we get the nut touch from Bamboo, ignoring Marin, and just touching that nut on the beach. I think it's supposed to be a coconut, but it's not exactly the most well-known coconut. And we have Seagull RNG now. The positions of the seagulls usually determine whether or not your run is going to be any good. Bamboo had some interesting Seagull RNG at the start, then they all started clumping, trying to form the Super Seagull. And I don't know if we have some seagull aerial mating going on here, because they're just on top of each other the entire time. And that's enough of that. We've acquired Marin, and she will be used to get a bunch of pictures. And Mouse at the bottom of the well, taking, I guess, weird pictures of stealing people's money when they throw it down for wishes, and that he just happened to take a picture because Marin landed on your face, and that's the kind of picture he wants to have lying around his house. There's no good reason for him to be down there. It's only terrible reasons. And just so you know, because Tataka's song was can be playing earlier, and actually I'm pretty sure Bamboo was playing it on the title screen earlier. This is the part where you realize that Link was a frog the entire time. And Spiraster with the cold shoulder, hiding in the corner. He's upset with his RNG. His Seagull RNG is probably not going to be super great either. So date time in front of the weather vane, rooster statue. There's probably a third word for that. And Terran just comes, ruins your date, rooster blocks you. That's no fun. It's kind of a Richard. Big jerk in that way. Yeah, Spiraster's Seagull RNG is it's no good. Still good. So Marin has superpowers. Like, she watches you take the warp, and then she's just like, I gotta follow you, and just flies. So this entire, like, oh, I need an escort to Animal Village is... Marin's definitely hitting on you, and Terran ruined the entire moment. So, this is Walrus Skip, technically. In all of our other categories, this is Walrus Skip. We have Marin, so we don't actually need to skip him, but if we do a bomb trigger from the left-hand side, it's going to save some time. One, because we need the menu for the bombs anyway, and 2, Marin leaves the screen sooner, so we regain control of Link pretty instantly. Because as you can see, the bunny disappears. If Marin's all the way on the other side, the bunny will leave the screen and Marin will slowly walk off. The bunny vanishes pretty much the second the game realizes that Marin's done, and dropping that bomb and throwing it saves a quarter of a second. That was a recent development. So, bomb's playing animations. That includes Piece of Heart. Bamboo getting all bomb triggers except for that early owl skip. And they're really hard to do without buffering. Or maybe just because they play with a controller. So coming up is a modified area of the game. It was originally supposed to be like a slalom minigame, and there were like 2 empty pegs, and you had to fill them with arrows, and so you would ski around this area. And if you did it successfully, you got this key. But if you just shoot the right area, it still gives you the key. They just left that in, so we used that to get the angler key. That's the lore that we're going with today, is that it was a skiing minigame. And so a little bit of desert cleanup. There's a secret city shell over here. Oh man. Spice with the spicy chat. Thought you didn't want me to get us banned. Okay, so, got the seashell, save and quit back. Running down. Gotta talk to this owl though. And now we're off to the angler tunnel. Which hosts the, considered by one person the hardest boss in the game. Cravone, if you're watching. Oh right, we have to learn this song from Marin. And, very hard trick coming up is saying no. Link is a very, very, impressionable youth, and is not good at, telling people no. He's just pretty sure whatever they're saying is a good idea, but if you say yes, you have to keep playing the song, and this entire cutscene takes forever. There we go, Spiraster finishing his, skiing hill. It's gonna fall down, bomb arrow through the transition, and open up a door that you definitely could have found as a kid. Okay, Bamboo successfully not giving into peer pressure, and is on his way to Angler Tunnel. And a couple of very important tricks, one of which he's better go for, and the other one, he still better go for. And this is where all that walking over from D2, that's where it saves all that time. So we open it up. It's a pretty prime real estate, waterfront property, good security system, cue ball, which I guess lives there forever because we just jump past him. And oof, Bamboo getting a bonk. You get that right, you save negligible time. And so very important trick. If he gets it, it saves a quarter of a second. If he misses it, it loses 2. And he gets it, obstacle skip, very good from Bamboo. And we will see if Bamboo goes for the good strats. Oh no, he's not. Bamboo electing to lose a bunch of time. Probably. I don't know if we've ever come up with a number on how much time the trick that he could have gone for saves. Let's hope Spiraster does it. It's fast, it's fun. It's cool. But we're up here to go grab some things that we're gonna need. Since by the time we come back here, we will not be over in the area for secret seashells, and since we're over here anyway, may as well put our sword in our butt and talk to this mouse. And he's just very, very intimidated by your butt sword, so he falls off. And then Link is just like, "Oh no, why'd you do that?" And that's why. He was very confused about your actions at that moment. So, Dungeon 4. Pretty fun dungeon, considering we skip all of it. It's got some nice tricks in it. And some mini-bosses that we skip, which is great. This cue ball sucks. And one key that we need to grab. And I don't know if that falling in the water there saves time, actually. I don't think I've seen anyone do that. So, here's our last Jesus jump of the run. Because unfortunately, once you get the flippers, you can't do that anymore, and that sucks. Here's another little bit of RNG. These tiles just kind of light up in random orders. I don't know what changes that, but flippers! So now we can swim. It's going to be very helpful, considering there's a lot of water on this island. And also lava, which is very swimmable. If you've ever tried to swim in lava, it usually goes about as well as you would expect it to. Either very well or very poorly, depending on your point of view. As here comes the boss of Angler Tunnel, Sadfish. He's very lonely because he doesn't have any friends, and so he just, look at him, he's very sad. And very flashy. And now he's dead. Which I guess is another reason for him to be Sadfish. But we're gonna go pay a visit right afterwards, because that's really depressing. So we're gonna pay attention to Gladfish right after Bamboo gets the Surf Heart. And Gladfish is gonna give us a song that's useful, and that's about it. There's nothing else about it that's good. As Bamboo just wants to learn the song. And unfortunately, not able to deafen himself by letting all the blood rush to his head. But this is known as the worst song in the game. There's nothing redeeming about it. As you can say, Link was had his arms up in joy that the song was no longer playing. So he got as far away from there as possible. Now Spiraster is gonna go fight Sadfish. As Bamboo goes and grabs another heart container in the middle of the water. And as you can see, so much slower than if it was all fishing minigames. Spiraster having a slightly slower anglerfish fight, but nothing too bad. But now we have a ghost friend. I would agree that of the 3 songs in the game, the fish song is definitely in top for 3, as there are 3 whole songs. So this ghost is the annoying ghost, and she's very dead, and very sad about being dead. You can tell by the frowny face, and that she's a girl because of the bows in her hair, but she can't follow us into here. And ooh, Bamboo getting very quick bomb trigger there, which is going to help us skip even more of our trading sequence as we exchange our pineapple that we never gave to a man who's currently dying on the mountain. Just needed food. So there's another death that Link is probably responsible for. We just turned that into a bra to give to this mermaid. Because I don't know. And ooh, 2 buffer, that's really good. That's gonna save Bamboo a lot of time. Same save and quit, but it's a much longer cutscene. And here's a trick. We have early magnifying lens. And basically what we're trying to do here is we're trying to, based on the Zora position, we either bonk off the Zora or the energy it shoots out, and Bamboo getting a very fast early magnifying lens. And that lets us, normally you have to get the hookshot to get over here, but that lets us get the magnifying lens right now, which is very convenient because we won't have to make multiple trips down to the beach later. Saving, when combined with early hookshot, saves a bunch of time. So we're gonna go talk to the fisherman again. He catches the picture guy who, I don't know, was trying to prevent the fisherman from catching fish so we can get a picture of his frustration. This camera guy is just the worst kind of person. And then Link is just like, this is my boat now, as he tries to murder the fisherman. I guess he helps him out later in response for the fisherman, I think, murdering the camera guy for being a fake heavy fish or scaring away all his catches. I'm not sure. One of the two. But we're headed over to the beach to go to the dead ghost's house, which, given how like nice and the fact that there's only one child on this island and the population is very clearly dying, it's a little bit surprising. It's just a little bit surprising that there's this one house by the bay that this ghost died at, and it's just been abandoned forever. All other property on this island is just kept up, nice and tidy. Even the dungeons that have been abandoned forever are much, much better now. But for some reason, maybe it's just that that's the first thing and it's very old ghosts. I didn't kill the fisherman, he helped them out at the end. But now we don't need our shovel anymore, because we've, I guess, dug all the graves that we have to. And, I've gotten the boomerang. The boomerang is going to be, very helpful for everything that we're doing. Saves a lot of time. Yeah, Link is not the nicest person. Ooh, Bamboo doing sword strats. Even though, pretty sure we timed it, that boomerang saves time here and doesn't require any amount of extra effort, but it also doesn't save a real amount of time. Especially when you're really good at that. It just saves a little bit of time picking up the seashell, but it is a time save. As we're out of arrows, so well, Bamboo's got one, and we need more than one. We're gonna need a couple, especially since the only mini boss that we can hurt with arrows technically doesn't die in 2 arrows. Or we're gonna need these to kill mini bosses again and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we're playing a song. Link plays it, blacks out, and runs as far away from where he was as possible because he's so traumatized by the song he just played that he wakes up in a puddle probably of his own doing. Bamboo having a little bit of an interesting menu there. But having blacked out from the songs, we're gonna return this ghost to her grave. And she's just like, oh, I'm dead here. I guess I'll go inside. And then the owl tells us about more lore that, I don't know, Link just really isn't paying attention to because he's just doing everything as he sees fit. But now that the ghost has claimed, I guess, graveyard property, or re-entered it, they're much happier. I would have taken the secluded beachfront instead of the graveyard next to the Crazy Witch's house, but... Okay, Bamboo going for the older strat of, just jumping over there. There is a way to save time with a Boomerang equipped. And now we have Color Dungeon. Having Boomerang equipped here also saves a little bit of time. Or, well, makes it a little bit safer because the ghosts can't just decide to fly into you. And, can you tell me what color that is? Is he blue or is he red? Do you understand the meaning of colors? Okay, looks like Bamboo does understand color. And is allowed into the Color Dungeon. And we will see which tunic at the end of it Bamboo will end up picking. Spiraster is working his way over there as well. If they decide to go red tunic or fast tunic. And so there are a couple interesting things about this dungeon. It is DX exclusive, so it's filled with a bunch of mini-bosses that we just shoot with arrows because that seems to be our working strategy. Is that's a little bit of interesting menu. And that's the blob. That's the blob. It's gone. Doesn't exactly have iframes, and powder drops really fast. Super jump out of menu because we do need arrows and boots. And there, so Spiraster did just get the boomerang trick right there. So you just jump at it, throw the boomerang. It's a 2-pixel window, I believe. Spiraster doing the newer strats here, so we'll be seeing those in the Color Dungeon probably as well. So those rupees, since it is newer, and they guess they didn't want to put this in your save file or on the cart, or they couldn't figure it out, and they just wanted to put rupees on the ground because it looked cool. And they were green. And here's Stone Hinox. He tells you of a lot of words, and then you shoot him with arrows before he lands and can punch the ground and stun you. And here's Bingo Room. There is no real good Bingo Room, especially with Sword. Bamboo is just having the absolute worst time there. I think Spiraster is going to make up some time there. But anyway, about those rupees. So, they're saved in the game's RAM instead, whether they're there or not. And because of that, when you do a power cycle on the console, they're back. And we use that because we do need 300 rupees. As Bamboo misses the jump. Here's the boss of the Color Dungeon. As Bamboo is... Oh boy. That was a very interesting fight from Bamboo. That's gonna be a little bit of time loss. As we'll see, blue tunic or red tunic. Oh, Bamboo trying to save that 0.82 seconds. Spiraster does their hard reset. It was timed out. If you do everything perfectly, red tunic is still faster. But you're never going to have a good D5 boss fight, so it's not. That's just how the D5 boss fight works. As Bamboo moving on to skip another part of the game, where normally you would need the hook shot, but we can just jump in. Spiraster doing the same thing with the arrows, not firing them apart enough that he doesn't have to waste the third one. And another seashell. But we have a maze, and at the end of this maze is the Great King Wart from Super Mario 2. After being deposed from Subcon, he moved to another dream world, I guess, and just opened up shop as a player of Soul, and is the best musician in all of Cornlet Island. as I don't know how Bamboo's capture of this looks. I know the majority of people, the way they capture this game, this looks terrible on their stream, since it uses old ways of making transparency exist. Or rather, opacity. So it just flickers on every other frame between full color and black around the areas, and on old screens, you can kind of see it sometimes. Okay, so during that, Spiraster picked up Faster Tunic. So he's gonna save a whole, like, probably 3 to 4 seconds over Bamboo with that Tunic choice. As best song happened. But, you know, Wart doesn't seem to be such a bad guy, as Spiraster's execution has been not so great today. And here's the best part of the game. Every 44 frames, you push the A button to go get the most convenient to locate and find or ever see heart container. Which, as you can see, is Richard's castle. All the knights, that crow that only moves, you can throw a rock at it. Pit that is rooster locked, and there's a seashell in there. But yeah, since you're saving quits back at the warp, that's really the only good time to go get that. As we are moving on to Phase Shrine. As you can see, the for Bamboo, the ghost of the picture guy came back to take a picture with the friendly River Zora. He's just kind of chilling out there, living in that house, invisible to everyone else, with the magic lens. We are moving over to the oh-so-fun part of the game, Armos Maze. This is one of the areas where Red Tunic is faster. You pick things up, which Red Tunic is faster at until level 2 Bracelet. And you do more damage to the Armos Knight, which, Bamboo trying to go for the really swag double bonk, doesn't quite get it. Spirit's just saving some time thanks to the Bomb Fairy pushing him. And Spiraster will have very different strategies for fighting the Armos Knight, using boot strats, which I think are more fun to do anyway than, I mean, they're definitely more fun than whatever we're doing for Red Tunic. Which is this. And so that is definitely much faster. But it's not as cool or hard to do. And Blue Tunic lets you do more swag overall, I'd say, than Red Tunic does. So there's another reason why Blue Tunic is better. As Spiraster's getting his Zora picture right now. Bamboo is moving on to D6. Check back in with Spiraster once he gets to his Armos Knight fight. And I really think Spiraster would be much... I don't know if the pace or the spacing has changed much since the major flub in D2 from Spiraster. There are still a couple tricks where he can catch up and because Bamboo is using Red Tunic, the game is significantly more dangerous. Does get a free fairy if he equips Boomerang early in Dungeon 6, so not at risk to die right now. Although Spiraster's pretty low on health as well. Does only take 1 heart of damage from the Armos instead of the 2. Yep, and there's that fairy. Using that Boomerang to save some time. Yep, Bamboo messing up a menu. And so here's Spiraster's Armos Night Fight. See some sick boot strats. Oh no. Did not go super well for Spiraster. Unfortunately. Did miss a hit. Timing was a little bit off, and that Armos Night Fight just went very poorly, and now has a heart and a half. Get out of Armos Maze. A couple of runners have, and I think I would at this point as well. Would take the death just to be up at, I think, 6 hearts or whatever. Since he won't be able to damage boost off of the Armos for entering the cave that gets 8 to D6. Now here's another part that's harder for Red Tunic. That Wizard Robe shot. Bamboo getting it very cleanly. And with some slick super jumps, we don't have to go all the way around the dungeon and back again. Oh. You have to throw a pot at that chest to open it, and Bamboo makes a little bit of a mistake. Gets the flock clip. And 3 pixel wide super jump with a really convenient visual indicator. Makes it second try. Wasn't quite clipped into the wall all the way there. And now I want chat to figure out how many horse heads is Bamboo gonna get. I rolled the die. It says 7. So we're gonna go with 7 from me. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. So if you guessed 5, you win. Let's see. Spiraster's right behind. We'll be re-guessing once we get to. See, I can't quite tell. Product's got his thing because of the delay. Yeah, Bamboo must have mixed up his cartridges. Very, very used to just getting perfect RNG. First try, horse heads, first try. Like, bufferless rooster skip, first try. Goomba surf, just everything. His RNG is ridiculous. And so let's get those votes in before Spiraster gets to hit his horse head as Bamboo clears out Facade. His hitbox is available earlier. Let's see. Ooh, I rolled a 19. So I'm hoping mine is wrong, as we get a fun little glitch there with Bamboo just throwing that bomb over and over again. So put your votes in now for Spiraster horse heads. Man, Dagger Zone just not wanting 22s for both of them. So let's see. That's 1. Ooh, second try. Jankaman with the correct guess. World record being held by Cravone, 34 horse heads. can see, just bombing the ground, because Facade is just waking up very slowly, and bombs blowing up in his face don't make him wake up any faster, because he's the floor. As Bamboo now has his level 2 sword, and is going to go fight Dungeon 5, which is one of the, I'd say 2 areas remaining. Technically 3, depending on how stubborn both of our runners are, that we could see a lot of time loss. This level 2 sword does a lot of fun things for us. It lets us shoot lasers, it does more damage. It lets us shoot lasers when we're at full hearts, which pretty important for making one of our fights coming up a little bit faster. But now is the full circle of our time save from wasting all that time getting that early magnifying lens. It is time for early hookshot. It's a 50-50 trick. And it involves taking the key from this room, dragging it to the other one, and basically the game will treat the key as the other room's key, and Bamboo gets first try, which that means he's saved a ton of time. And this key's not set yet, so it does replace the other room key, basically. You just spawn the other room's key early, it's kind of ridiculous. It's that room in particular. If you kill Master Stalfos anywhere, he drops a small key. But if you kill him in that room, he drops a small key, and he stays dead. If you kill him in any other room, he respawns, because he has to say his speech to prevent him from spawning. So Master Stalfos is weak to a couple things. Sword beams are one of them, and so we use those, saves the menu. And so there's a couple ways that Bamboo could save even more time than he already has in this dungeon. Spiraster's right on his tail. Entering D5 right now. He can still come back if this rooster skip is very bad, but we'll have to see. Okay, so Bamboo going for the nice save, just pull the perch across. A couple runners like to do hookshot jumps, which are frame perfect, off of the wall. And jump over. That is, if you get it really quickly, faster. So we're gonna see how many tries it's gonna take for Spiraster. He will have to pick up all the drops that are on the ground before he can perform the trick. If the drops are on the ground, you can pick up the key through the transition. And Spiraster also getting first try. That's pretty good. And Bamboo not doing clank jumps again, just taking the nice, safe hookshot across. As, here's the part where Red Tunic is definitely slower. So, Wall Snake. Wall Snake takes 8 hits to kill. Or, well, Slime Eel. And that's 3, so Bamboo has lost time on Wall Snake. Just going for a 3-3-2, much safer, doesn't have to worry about the duplicates. That's the average fight for Red Tunic, but it's incredibly difficult to get a 2-4 cycle, which is the max you can get with a Red Tunic, so it's much quicker just to go for that. So he picks up his Marimba. And Spiraster also not going for the hookshot jumps, but now we have one major trick left that they're headed towards now, which is going to be Rooster Skip. And every time they fail that, if they don't take the safety save and quit, it's 30 seconds lost. If they do take a safety save and quit, then they're going to waste some time, but they're going to save a lot more in case anything bad happens. It's one of the arguments that a trick both of them skipped earlier. At least, if I miss Spiraster doing it, I'll be really upset with myself. Both of them skipped. Early Rooster Skip gives you a free save and quit back there, so it's a little bit safer in that regard. in that it doesn't waste any time if you do it. But it is newer, it is a little bit more RNG dependent. But it does save time over regular Rooster Skip. Spiraster is very clearly gonna have a oh, that was a really good wall snake fight. It was a very good wall snake fight, and so finally getting that piece of heart using a bomb. There's only one left in the game, located on the top of Turtle Rock. As Bamboo is heading up to Rooster Skip as we listen to the great Telltale Heights music. Oh, Bamboo doing the big risky strats. Oof, and there's a failure. So that's 30 seconds back for Spiraster. If he takes one more spill like that... I saw the first jump and I was waiting for double firsties again. I was really waiting for it. Oh, and Spiraster does the bonk. That saves a menu, which is pretty good. Actually, I think it saves 2. So if Bamboo fails again, but second try double firsties, that's crazy. Like, even though we failed it the first time, just the double firsties is really crazy. And I think Spiraster is probably going to do buffered, so every single one of those buffers he does is 2 seconds lost on Bamboo. So, Bamboo probably, in comparison to Spiraster, probably only lost about 15 seconds, because I'm going to guess about 7 buffers total. And, another all obstacle skips perfect. So good. As, oof. Bamboo not doing the brand new strategy that Sagas did the other day. He can do a hookshot jump. All these hookshot jumps getting routed in. They're really hard, they're frame perfect. Technically, this one is routed out now, but early Rooster Skip pretty hard, so 1 buffer, 2 buffer, 3, 4. Oh boy. Okay, so that was the worst possible outcome for Spiraster right there. And Spiraster has forfeited the race. Okay then. Alright, so I guess we're just gonna talk about Bamboo, as Spiraster has walked off for a bit. Definitely was not the race that he was looking for. Which is a shame, and this is my favorite thing that Bamboo does. He didn't get it. And maybe I missaw it the first time, but it looked like he can drop, you can, when that bomb explodes, you can drop a bomb, and he was just having some problems setting that last bomb trigger up. He's good on bombs, though. Safe. Yeah, Spiraster was not having the greatest of runs for people in the chat who were wondering what happened, and got very frustrated at a failed rooster skip that did not go well. And so here's Evil Eagle. There's a neat quick kill. And ooh, okay, so Bamboo is set up for it perfectly, gets above him. And because we've saved and quit sometime recently, apparently it's not saving and quitting in general, it's just like within a certain time limit. Your hookshot can wrap below the screen, and the negative coordinates that it goes to are where Evil Eagle's Y coordinate is set when he flies off the screen. So yeah, okay, so Bamboo finishing up Eagle's Tower. And doing a save and quit so we can move after falling down off a cliff, which is used only there in this run. There are a couple places that it is theoretically faster to do things like that, but they require buffering, and since that's on a global frame rule for Villa skip buffering, same trick to transition where you're not supposed to. And so here's Marin. We're not gonna save her. She's fine. She's already demonstrated her ability to fly. If you let her have her way, she can also walk through trees. And she can walk to the other side just totally fine. Like, if you save her the other direction, she'll just walk back across. She's like, I wanted to go this way. You're the worst person. And it's no good. So, we got some rocks. Rocks are neat. Bamboo is taking a substantial lead, given that Spiraster is no longer running. And right here, we have the final Mad Batter question, which is the easiest. You can just mash A, pick the powder, and see how much of it we can get rid of before we have to menu again. There's nothing better to do with it unless we want to blow all of it so we can go grab the mushroom, which is the real way to get the blob quick kill on the final boss. Bamboo have been having some problems with his menus the entire time. But other than that, very clean, solid run. Has just gotta hope for no arrows from this moblin. If that moblin shoots an arrow at you, it ruins bomb triggers, and we can't wake this guy up by using bombs. We'd have to either enter the hut and exit, or, depending on where you are, it might even be faster to play Frog's Song of Soul to wake him up. It's probably a wash either way. And Bamboo not doing a super jump with a bomb arrow. That's the swag way to do it, as we are doing... I think we're sticking with Bookshot, or Hookshot Super Jump, or something. And oof. So there are 2 pixels you can line up with, top of D8. And when you do that, and you put the hookshot on B, and the feather on A due to button priority, you can kind of jump and shoot out your hookshot, grab the other side, and zip right over. And kind of like flock clip or super jump over that key block and right to where you want to go. Grab our magic rod. It's a magic rod that only sets things on fire, and according to the player's guide, will cool down Hothead. Interesting strategy there by Bamboo. Maybe finally realizing that Spiraster is no longer racing. But oh, so that's no good. So he got knocked into the lava there by the spark. It's the same thing as Jesus jumping. You can get out of there with a save and quit Bamboo. Oh, he had to change the feather. Oh no! I don't think he realized that all he had to do was buffer and change the feather to get out of there. Oh, I thought you could start. I don't know. Maybe that's something that only works, because I've had that happen to me in the rando ROMs, but maybe that's different. Running up there, grabbing our last star container. Yes, that could have been an opportunity for Spiraster to catch up, I guess. Taking some more lackadaisical strats, I guess. Pressure's off on Bamboo. He's definitely not having the greatest D8. And is moving into our Hamiltonian path room. 27 different solutions. Can only pick one. Picks one that gets him right next to the chest. Bamboo really wants to BM. He'll get the mushroom to fight the final boss. I just really like when people do that because it's fun. Yeah, there are 27 valid solutions to that room. As it is a Hamiltonian cycle problem. You can figure that one out with math. That's some graph theory. I was not 100% sure as to what Bamboo is doing right now. Is Bamboo... Okay, so I think Bamboo is trying to go for a glitch on Hothead. Or... Bamboo, what's happening? Bamboo. Bamboo's trying to go for a glitch where Hothead locks himself in place. It's, I believe, pixel perfect. I was gonna guess like a 122 or sorry, like a 123 or there we go. So Hothead's stuck there for a while. Bamboo will just be mashing for forever to kill him now. It takes a lot of magic rod in his face to cool him down. And I believe I was told after 60 shots of the magic rod, or whatever, he just dies, doesn't go to his other form. Oh, unfortunately, there's no magic meter in this game. Maybe the magic rod in this game is just, it sets things the inverse of what they are, because there's only, like, it's either a state that you're on fire or not on fire. Maybe that's what it's doing. So, it puts out Hothead, turns him into not on fire, which lets it hurt him, because he needs to always be on fire, and everything else isn't on fire, so it just sets them on fire. Which is a really, really not useful... I guess it is kind of useful. No two things are not on fire at the same time. And, so... coming to the end of our wonderful journey, after trolling Hothead for 3 minutes, we have the national anthem of Cunlet Island, the Ballad of the Windfish. And so we will watch in silence. Okay. So, we have the Windfish Maze. It's very hard to figure out, especially considering it's the same every single time until you read the book. Just left, left, up, right, right, up, left, up. And final boss time for Bamboo. Get to the Techscape, and we'll be going for Blob Quick Kill. The blog is on a certain pixel. Your sword will do damage to it. Doesn't quite get it all the way. It's 50-50, I believe, if you can kill him in one go for that particular setup. So the blob's dead, and now it's time for RNG Nightmare. So we have Aghanim. Aghanim's first 2 balls are always good balls. And now it's 50-50 chance that it's blue balls or red balls. And the world record, I believe, is 17 in a row. But Bamboo's luck doesn't look like that'll happen. No blue balls. What a guy. Only bad horse heads and kind of a bad roost given. Oh, missing the Moldorm quick kill, so we get to see this. Moldorm, conveniently with level 2 sword and red tunic, takes 5 hits. As does Ganon. Bamboo is going to go for a trick known as Death'll Skip. Waiting for a bat to spawn on the right flame, and is going to play Salute, misses it. It is very hard. There's a buffered setup, there's an unbuffered setup that I've seen Sagas get somewhat consistently. And here's Death'll. Blue Tunic, I think, is really fun for this fight, because you can just sit in the corner, and Death'll won't do enough damage to you, ever. Until he opens his eye. And now it's a waiting game. And bad oscillating hitboxes, but that's the kill onto Death'll. And we are just waiting in a second. Once he gets onto those stairs and out the top, that will be time for Bamboo. And so that's it. Bamboo is our winner. We have a bunch of hoots going on as all the sound stops. Congratulations to Bamboo for moving on. And doesn't look like Bamboo wants to do an interview with us. So looks like we're just gonna cut the stream here. Coming up on Speed Gaming, over on Speed Gaming 2, there's still the randomizer daily race for A Link to the Past, and on Speed Gaming 3, Simpsons Hit and Run has just started, as well as Dark Souls 3 over on Speed Gaming 4. Nothing on Speed Gaming 1 until 6 o'clock, when there will be Undertale. So that's going to do it for me. It's been fun, and I'm L5, and we'll see you, I guess, at the Losers Finals between Black and Bamboo. Goodbye, everybody.